Welcome to another clean and craft chat, because apparently I wasn't finished last time. Hey, it's Care. Welcome to My Take at the Lake. There's still a lot on this desk that I wanted to tell you about, but it was buried, so I didn't see it and we didn't get to it. So today we're going to get to it. Again, when I do these clean and craft chats, I try to clean, and while I do that, I show you what I'm cleaning and hopefully help you by giving you some ideas, sharing with you projects that I'm working on, things that I'm started, things that I've finished, things that I'm planning, the whys and the hows. And so it's not just me cleaning and chattering about nothing. It's either going to be crafty stuff, snarky stuff, or true crime stuff. Today it's going to be crafty stuff. Isn't this beautiful? In a nutshell. Wanted it last year. They said it was on sale, but it was in the wrong bin. So when we went to check out, the piece that I wanted was almost $60. I want to put it outside. I don't know. You said it was on sale. It was here. Anyway, we argued. I got in some good digs, but I did not get my way. And so I did not take the fabric home. Well, this year, I was out running errands and something told me, go there and see if they have it this year. And so I did, and it was on sale. And I got the same piece that I wanted last year for less than $12. I win. Oh. Anyway, I got the piece I wanted for $12, and whatever was left was then a remnant, and that was on sale for 75% off. So I got whatever was left on the bolt for $3. So I got whatever was left on the bolt of this wonderful watercolory, crabby yumminess. It's a pattern that goes every which way. There's no right or wrong or up or down to it, and I got it to make the new canopy for my yard swing, because the one that came with it was essentially made of paper. It was just junk. And so even though I am not a sewing person, and this is made evident by I made it completely the wrong size, so then I had to make it work somehow, and this is what's left. The swing canopy did, in fact, get made, and it does sort of fit, and it does serve the purpose to keep the birds off the valance and from pooping on my seat. But isn't this wonderful? I'm thinking I want to do a crabby something or other, crabby chic. Like Lisa had, I think it was Lisa that sent me that little, it says crabby chic on it. It's been here. It's in the safe place here. Maybe I put it in my journal already. But crabby chic, that got me to thinking. And recently I've come across a couple of things that's kind of cutesy for my taste, but it's a crab. Crabs are crabs, little hermit crabs. I am a hermit for sure. And so I thought it'd be fun to start collecting something for a crabby journal. Just because it's so me. So that's something I have now started to collect for. The good news is I have bits and pieces of it all over the place, so I can make tabs. You know, even though you can't tell what it is, I'll always know what it is. But for my lake journal, these blues and greens for the vintage lake journal, it's canvas, it's nice, heavy, and where there's no color, it's just tone on tone like that. That would make great tabs. So there's a lot that can be done with these pieces of material. And there are some almost full-fledged crabs left on it. So I absolutely love this fabric, and I am looking forward to playing with it. So now that I've put that out there, keep your eye out for cool crabby stuff. Pretty crabs. I'll throw up a couple pictures here that I have. They're digital, but I love them. I'll show you what my take on cool crabs are. Although, you know, there's stuff out there I've never seen. I've never seen crabby chic. I wouldn't have known to ask for that. So I'm going to put the call out there to keep your eye out in your magazine harvesting for crabby stuff. Cool crabs. Stuff. And when you get a few bits, slip them in an envelope for me. Drop me an email. Doesn't have to be a fun envelope. It can be plain Jane envelope, I don't care. Drop me an email and I'll send you my address, and you can send me some crabby stuff that I can put in my crabby journal. I would love that. Love, love, love that. So since I have this out, I told you in a previous video that I had gotten just a box of plain white envelopes, business size envelopes. This is from Walmart. There were 40 of them in here. I think it was maybe $3, right? Because I love to do my fun sprays. I started to do other things on them, like neurographic art. This was a fun spray one that I did with, this is food coloring, this is watercolor, and I did not like it. This might have even been printer ink from a long time ago. I don't know, but I didn't like it. I like this one way better. So this one, you know, is kind of pale in comparison. So I just started to dress it up with some neurographic art and some doodling, and I like it way better. It's fine now. You know, that's pretty cool. I'd like to get that in the mail, so we can exchange mail. You find crabby stuff for me, and I'll send you something. You let me know what you're collecting, and we'll exchange. I think that would be fun. So I got this box primarily for my fun sprays. But a few videos back, I got that beautiful happy mail from Sue Fichter at A Call to Create. And she had used a paper envelope, and she did neurographic art on it. And I just think this is so fun what she has done here. She used markers here, maybe a Sharpie to do the neurographic part. And by neurographic art, if you're not aware, you make these swirly lines all over the place. And instead of having points anywhere, you round it out with your marker. And so there's no harsh edges. And then she took a Posca pen and she dotted it, and she took a marker and she drew these lines. And I just think this is so much fun that I tried it on my Amazon plastic mailers, and it did not work at all. Fail with a capital F, and fail. So I just got some plain white 9x12, because if you're going to send some maybe dyed papers in the mail, those are 8.5 by 11, and you don't want to crunch them all. So you want to get the 9x12. If you're going to be sending anything letter size in the mail, that's why I picked the 9x12. There's only 6 in here, but I figured if I do it, great, and if I don't, well, I'm not out anything. This might have been $1 or $2. It was not expensive at all. So far I've got $5 into the project, and so I started doing it. This is a perfect couch craft. Take a blank envelope and some markers to the couch with a lap desk or a big book on your lap and just play. I love doing neurographic art. I just lose myself in it. So I did that on this envelope, and then I just used some blues and started coloring it in, right? I may or may not do the back. I don't know. I did put a few blank pieces, just put some scrap paper in here, because you don't want your front to bleed through to your back, especially if you're going to do something on the back. You want to keep that nice and fresh. So just stick even a skinny old magazine in here, something so that it won't bleed through on you, depending on what kind of markers you use. Now this is plain paper. You could even watercolor this and then neurographic over it. It won't take much, but you can certainly throw watercolor at it and some salt and get some magic stuff going. You can certainly use your fun sprays on these. That's just food coloring and water in a spray bottle. That's again what this is, with some salt spattered in at the right time. Then you can go over the top with neurographic or your stamps. I mean, you can do anything on these envelopes that you do on a master board, that you do on a journal page or a glue book page. You could certainly glue book this if you wanted. You could art journal it. You could collage it for sure. Janet Nash sends stuff all the time through the mail that has been collaged. This is all stuff she has glued to a recycled bill envelope. So you can send that through the mail. There's no reason you can't do that kind of stuff on these envelopes. And if you get paper ones in the mail, by all means, keep them. Amazon has gone to the plastic stuff, and Amazon has Amazon crap written all over it. But if you get something, say, from your insurance agent, and it's a plain white envelope, or even a colored envelope, you can certainly paint over it, collage over it, whatever, and make it into a Happy Mail envelope. These also, by the way, make fantastic. They are the exact right size for a journal cover. They are the exact right size to take a piece of letter size paper, fold it in half, and there are your pages. So if you're just trying to get started in junk journaling and don't have a lot of cereal boxes laying around, but you have some of these mailers, either that someone's mailed you or put it on your next Walmart order, throw it in your cart, perfect journals. And if you want them stronger, put some stuff in the middle so that they're stronger. You could put a piece of thin cardboard in there. There's so much that you can do with these envelopes. But I got them to make Happy Mail out of them, and then I ended up making coordinating envelopes. So I might put the small stuff in here and the larger stuff in here so that they get both, and then whoever gets it can make it into a journal cover and use this as one of the pages, either sideways like that or sewn in here as a page, and it would stick out the top a little bit, but that's all right. We like that. A little bit doesn't matter. You could center it so it sticks out the top and the bottom. You could cut it off so it doesn't stick out at all, but then you have a pocket up top. I mean, there's so many ways to do this. All I did here was just close it, do the neurographic art. So it's got kind of a cool look when you open it up, but when you close it, it's complete. Matchy matchy, don't you know? They're not done. This one might be done, but this bigger one I'd like to do a little bit more on around the border especially. But I either got tired or bored. I don't know. And that's okay. I can finish it another day. That's fine. So that is something that I want you to consider doing, especially if you're just getting into this stuff and you're not quite sure. Do a collage on here. It's a small space to fill, easy, manageable, not threatening in any way. If you're intimidated by a blank envelope, well then throw some food coloring on it and mark it up and then go. And then it's done. Easy peasy. Another thing that I have started feeding the birds in my yard again. I quit for a while and now I'm doing it again. I don't know if I'm going to do it again or not, but currently I'm feeding the birds. I am trying to up my calm level. Others might say I need to bring my stress down, but I don't want to focus on the stress. So I am working on upping my calm level, because what you focus on, you get more of. What you spend your time and energy and thoughts on, you get more of. And I want more calm in my life for my health, for my concentration, all the way around. And being in nature does that. And so I started feeding the birds, and every day Bitsy and I go sit in my newly covered swing and just watch the birds. I usually leave my phone inside. However, I have an app that helps me identify the birds. It's called the Merlin ID app. I will put a link to it if I'm able in the description box below, but it's from Cornell University. If you have an iPhone, go to the App Store and put in Merlin app, and it's from, again, Cornell University. It's 100% free, and it's amazing. It uses the microphone on your smartphone to listen to the birds in your yard. And at any given time, I'll have 3, 5, 9, I've had as many as 12 different birds singing their little hearts out in my backyard. And I'm learning who speaks what they look like, because as the bird sings and the app hears it, it pulls up a picture of that bird and it lights up. So there'll be 5 or 6 birds listed, and it'll be quiet for a minute and there's nothing lit up, but then the robin will sing and she'll light up on your app. It's amazing. It is so cool. So I'm out in nature and I'm learning a lot, and both of those things help me keep my brain healthy. And if you watch the recent video, you know that's another one of my goals, is to age well. I want to keep my brain healthy. And so by going out in nature, just spending time with the birds and the bees and the bugs and the trees, and the bird song and watching Bitsy explore. A lot of times she'll just sit with me. Sometimes I journal about it. And that is what brings me to this. I started with one of these little half composition books, and I started jotting notes about what I saw and in my thoughts about birding in my backyard. And I quickly found out I had a lot more to say and a lot more was going on than I thought. And so I decided to go to a regular size composition book. Now, these make the best journals. I use these for my daily journals. I use them for glue books. I use them for seasonal journals. I use them for holiday journals. I use them for everything. I just went and bought a stack of them because they were on sale. Back to school prices. Sales are already starting, and so they were 50 cents a piece. Stock up when they're 50 cents. No sense in paying $1 next month if I'm gonna, because I know I'm gonna want one. So I stocked up, and one of the reasons I did was because I needed one for this nature journal. And I'm picking out things that I have in my yard. I've got lilacs. I have a baby downy woodpecker. I've named him Robert. He's wonderful, and he comes regularly and eats out of the peanut butter log. The goal was to bring hummingbirds to my feeders. I have this feeder, but it's cobalt blue. And I think I have a rare blue hummingbird in my yard. I've only seen him twice, but he's not the normal ruby-throated one, which is what this is here. I know these. I see these all the time. So I'm picking out things that I either want to see in my yard or I have seen in my yard. I love fuchsia plants. Amazing plants, more hummingbirds. There's a little guy in my yard. He was the first to arrive. When I started putting out the seed, I started with a peanut butter log. I made peanut butter seeds and suet lard and all kinds of good things in peanut butter, and I mixed it all up and I put it in a feeder log, and I had a big bowl of this peanut butter seed. And he came, this isn't him, but a little chipmunk came right up to me, and he's just watching me. And I looked down at him. I said, I see you. I'll see you there. And he just watched me and waited for me to drop something. I've named him Cheeky McNot Shy because he wasn't shy at all. He just came right up, and he's been here almost every single day. Every single day he comes. Cheeky comes around and eats the stuff at the bottom of the feeder where the birds either pick through what they don't want or spit out what they don't want. He's there eating it all the time. We have a lot of blue jays. Love the blue jays. Aren't these cute? They're baby hummingbirds. I would love to see a hummingbird nest someday. Oh, all kinds of pretty things. I have mourning doves. Just a passel of mourning doves that are there. Very chill. I have cardinals. I have robins. American robins. So these pictures, I wanted to, first of all, decorate the cover. I'm just going to do like a glue book page on the cover, front and back of these pictures. And whatever's left, I will put here and there throughout the book. But this is going to be a journal of my backyard adventures. Who I see, what I'm learning, what happened that day. Today I've been chasing around pine squirrels, the little a-holes. But anyway, again, in order to up my calm level. I also put a really pretty bird bath out there. It's so fun to watch them. Oh, and chickadees. Oh, my favorites. The bird bath. They love flipping around the birds. Just love the little bird bath. So I'm thrilled with that. So I quickly outglued my half one, got to a full one. I'm going to decorate it. And I got quite a few pictures. I could probably get that taken care of, get that done. Another thing that I had out here to show you the other day and completely spaced on it was I've had this journal a friend gave me for my birthday, I believe. It has this wonderful sort of handmade paper looking stuff. It's not textured, so this is just printed, but it looks like handmade paper. It's a nice journal. It's a good size. It lays flat. The spring is nice and straight, so the pages open and close. It's just a really, really nice journal. She also got me the card that is coordinated with this. I framed it, did a watercolor background, framed it, put it on a frame with a lot of sparkle. So I have the card and it's framed. I've had this journal to Carrie from Carrie Rappin. Oh, it was when I got my bachelor's degree in 2004. I had it as a guest sign-in book to a cottage. Then we got rid of the cottage. So I tore those pages out and put them in a scrapbook. And then it was going to be just a journal of super special things, but nothing seemed to qualify. So for 20 years, 2 decades, 20 years, I've not done anything with this book. That ends now. I've made this my swatch book. I got myself a set of Staedtler Mars Lumograph drawing pencils because, as I said in a previous video, I'm trying to learn to draw. I've always painted. I don't draw very well at all, but I can paint pretty good. So I do what I have to get the image on the page. If I can tell where the light and the shadow is via the drawing or the sketch, I have traced it, I have projected it, whatever I can do to get this image onto the page, I can paint it from there, because I never had the patience to learn to draw, and I don't know that I have the patience now to learn to draw, but I'm gonna try. So I bought myself some drawing pencils. I have these fabulous HB, they're Staedtler as well, Staedtler Remedy RX pencils. I use them for everything, and that's what I was using all the time. But it's hard to get darks with just an HB pencil. This is about as dark as it'll go. And so this is my swatch book. I took each pencil and gave a little swatch, and then started as dark as I could to as light as I could. Again, as dark as I could to as light as I could, and then erased it to see what it would take to erase it, and will it lift back to proper white. And I did that for each from 2H, HB, 2H is too hard, HB is right in the middle. The B's are soft, so they smudge really easy and they get nice and dark. So I did that in June. I also got out my Holbein watercolors and did watercolor swatching of Series A and Series B. This is the new Winsor & Newton Cotman field travel set that I got for Christmas. This is the Winsor & Newton Cotman field kit that I've had since around 1993, maybe earlier. These are the Niji, I don't know, oil pastels that I got for Christmas. That's why this is in here, because they make a mess. My Artex, I have a whole set of Artex acrylic markers. I can't remember how many there were, maybe 32? I don't know. These colors I have always left out, the black, the purple, and the gray, and the white. So I'll have to do the other swatches, but that's as far as I got. But I figure that's a fine use of this wonderful journal. So this is going to be a swatch book. Now, even if I use all the color, like if I use all these crayons, I might make some homemade gilding wax, out of them. So they might go away, but I'll remember that I had them. I'll remember what I used. I'll remember what brand they were in case they go away. Or what was that super cool color that I really, really liked? That Holbein color? What was that? Oh, it was Opera. Looky there. Yes, I remember that one. Peacock Blue is awesome. That's Holbein. It was part of their B series. Or how long have I had these paints? I bought this set in 2018. If I'm running out of Peacock Blue and I need to reorder it, eventually, I still have 3/4 of a tube, so it'll probably be 20 years, but I can say, whoa, look, that tube of paint lasted me X amount of time. So I wanted the rest of my Artex markers. I also have a whole set of Zig markers. I have a whole set of Tombow colors. They were like a galaxy set, so they're blue, purple, teal, silver, gray, different shades of gray. Very pretty. There might even been a hot pink in there as well. So those will all go in here. So I think that's a good use of the journals. But the reason I'm bringing this to you is because, holy man, we hold on to stuff for so long and we keep it so precious. I just shared a story with a viewer via comment, and I'd like to share it here with you briefly, if you'll just bear with me. Recently, I found some boxes in my basement. I'm purging my basement. I am over the junk in my studio. I am over the junk in my house. I am headed toward minimalism. I don't think I'll ever get to be minimalist. One book on a bookshelf does not satisfy me, but there has to be a happy medium. So I'm purging my basement, and I found 3 boxes down there, and they were marked my favorite things. I put them down there to keep them safe. I was hoping to move, truth be told, I was hoping to move, and I was putting it out to the universe. This is stuff for my new house. I'm ready to move. I'm packing up. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I'm ready to go. And I put all my favorite things in these 3 boxes downstairs. I had a bit of an incident with my furnace's humidifier. I did something stupid and it got wet down there. For a couple days I was gone, and my humidifier ranneth over and flooded a small part of my basement because I didn't shut the water off properly. Yay me. Those were part of the boxes that got wet. And so I'm going through all that stuff, and it says Carrie's favorite stuff for the new house. That was years and years ago. It's no longer my favorite stuff. I'm like, I don't want this in my new house. Yuck. And it's now ruined. A lot of it got wet, so I had to throw some of it away. And the point is this. For the whole time that my favorite things were downstairs, I didn't enjoy them. I just had them. I didn't see them. I didn't use them. I didn't think about them. They weren't even part of my life, even though they were my favorite things. They were down in a box. And now I either had to throw them out, or time has passed. My favorite things now are not my favorite things from 3-5 years ago, right? So don't be so precious about things, because you're always changing. You're always evolving. And so holding on to stuff so tight doesn't allow new stuff in. If I'm holding the old stuff with all of my effort because it's my favorite, or because I come from a lack mindset that if I use it, I'll never get another one. Oh my God. Look around your room, your house, your bedroom, your office. How many journals and notebooks do you have? I mean, for real. We live in an abundant universe, and I may never get another one of these, but I'll get something just as nice. And this one's not going anywhere, and by my using it, I'm getting to enjoy it. Every time I pull it out to look at my swatches or to do more swatches, I'm using it and enjoying it versus holding on because I don't think I'll ever get another one. Pardon me, and I mean no offense to anyone who does this, because I do it myself. I've done it myself, but I'm breaking these bad habits because they're not serving me. We live in an abundant universe, and there's always something more coming. And the more you let go, the more you relax and understand that if you believe if you believe there's not enough oxygen, there's not enough water, there's not enough space, there's not enough money, there's not enough, then that is what your reality will be. I live in an abundant universe. There's plenty of oxygen, there's plenty of water, there's plenty of stars in the universe, there's plenty of money to go around, there's plenty for everybody. That's my mindset. We'll have very different realities because our reality is what we believe. Make sense? This is all PCU stuff, but since I'm not getting on that track, I might as well help somebody now if I can. So pardon the bird walk away from junk journaling, but I think it's important because we all do this. We all hang on to our stuff so tightly and so preciously that we're afraid to create, or afraid to make a mark, or afraid to make a mistake. Who cares? Look, I got this all jacked up. I don't know what I did, but there's something on it. I might have spilled paint. I might have wrecked the cover. I don't know. It's 20 years old. What do you expect? You know, shit happens, and it's okay. It's all right. Like, going back to this is just, 40 divided by $3. $3 divided by 40, what is this? Not even 10 cents. Ugly envelope. I didn't like it. I could have thrown it away. I didn't. I drew over it. I'm adding to it. Eventually, it'll get to a place where I like it. I like it a lot better now. Just add another layer. As far, don't be so afraid. And perfection is just another form of procrastination. Like, I don't want to do it until I know how to do it perfectly. Well, I'm here to tell you, if you're afraid to start, or you're not starting because you want to do it perfect right out of the gate, you'll never do it. Number one, there's no such thing as perfection. Period. There's no such thing as perfection. We put other people's work on a pedestal and think, oh, that's perfect. If only I could do that. Well, you can't. You never will. Your style's not that style. Your style is not the same. Even if you even if you did every single thing along with them, your style is different. Your experience is different. Your history is different. Your tools are different. Your eye is different. Everything about you is different. So your project is never going to be just like theirs. And it shouldn't be. It should be just like yours. And yours is no better, no worse, no more valuable, no less valuable than theirs. The difference is they're doing it. You're not. That's just silly. If you want to do it, do it. The only way to know how to do it is to do it. Every time you do something, you will learn. Every time I do another project, I've written several books. 3 of them are complete. I have several other books started, but every one is a different project. And even though I've got a Master's of Fine Arts in creative nonfiction, and I've been writing for creative nonfiction for well over 25 years, it's still a creative process. It's still butterfly inducing, and it's still new with each one. Some people seem like it comes second nature and it's easy and whatnot, and it's because they do it all the time over and over and over again. And they do some things by rote memory, by instinct, but they didn't always. They had to start somewhere, and you have to start somewhere. So I'm going to link below 2 playlists that I have curated for you if you are on the fence and you have not started your projects yet. If you're wanting to junk journal, or you're wanting to glue book, or you're wanting to art journal, or alter some books, or slow stitch, or whatever it is you want to do, I want you to do it. And these videos are designed for you to tiptoe in the water. One playlist is called Quick Dips, and they're just quick little things that you can do. If you don't have a lot of time, if you don't have a lot of patience, just quick dips. And the other is called Dive In. Different ways to get into a project. We don't all come at it the same way. And there's loads of different ways to start in junk journaling, or paper crafting, or art journaling, or whatever it is you want to do. So I'll link those playlists for you below. We have one more thing. One more little bucket. This has been sitting here, right here on the corner of my desk for, I'll bet you, almost a year. It's at my grandma's house. So my grandma passed away in 95, and my mom bought the house from the estate, and now it's my parents' home. My grandparents built it in the 40s. But there's still a lot of stuff at my grandma's house from my grandma. And I've been wanting to show this to you for so long. So here we go. Look at this old-fashioned vintage glitter. This just takes me back. I can't tell you how many things this makes me think of about my grandma when we would craft together, and Christmases together, and stuff she'd make for Christmases, and Christmas bazaars, and all kinds of things. 29 cents. This is older than I am, and I think that's pretty awesome. Used to get these from Mallow Cups. I don't know if they still have these goofy cards. They're cash prizes, play money. Must save 500 points to receive a $2 rebate. You know, back when Mallow Cups were like a dime, so you'd have to eat 5,000 Mallow Cups to get your $2 back. But I don't know how old these are, but they were there. This was just a cool little card thing. I thought that would be handy. I don't know what was in it. I don't know. Seems to be a good use for it. My grandpa's old playing cards. My grandpa played solitaire, smoked Camel cigarettes, and listened to Tiger baseball constantly. And this is one of my grandpa's. It smells like the cottage, all caramelized up, all naturally vintage. This is older than I am too. There's a big brandy snifter, huge, full of matchbooks. I think those were mine and my mom's, because me and mom used to travel a lot in the 70s and 80s, and matches were a thing. This was how they advertised. So everywhere you went, Auto Body, Pat O'Brien's Pub. They have one in New Orleans, Cancun, and Orlando. So we were at one of those, probably Cancun or Orlando. This is from South Carolina. I mean, so I just grabbed a couple to remind me of all those trips. These teeny tiny dice were in Grandma's desk for some reason. I They're just teeny tiny. I can't imagine what they were for. Old Scripto brand black short leads that doesn't say whether or not they're HB or... Oh, they do have the diameter. 0.5. I wonder if I could use these in my remedy. Look, inside there's a piece of wood right there. Because the leads are so tiny they fit in there. And there's still leads in there. Look at those leads. Wow, they're so thick. And they're just short little guys. I wonder what they went in. I'll bet that pencil is that my grandma's somewhere. She kept everything. My mom keeps everything. And these, way cool, old-fashioned, they're Presto hole punches. Just teeny little guys. Stick the paper in there and give it a press. There's two of them, and I just thought they were cool. I love these big old paper clips. And it's metal. I mean, that's a hardy paper clip. And oh, there's another little dice. My aunt is a card maker, and she's got about 1 billion rubber stamps. She's a rubber stamp artist, and she made these years and years ago. They're teeny tiny. It's a stamp she has, but I thought it would be a fun idea for junk journalers. It's a stamp she has, so it looks like a little briefcase, front and back of a briefcase. So she just stamps it on a piece of, it's not cardstock, but it's heavier than copy paper, and then X-Acto knife it out, cut it out, and it's just to hold little Post-its, a little Post-it pad. But what a cute idea to, if you have little Post-it pads, wrap a cover around it and stick it in another journal, like a mini journal, or if it's a reading journal, these would make great bookmarks or something like that. I just think this is so fun. And this little guy has got to be every bit of 25, 30 years old too. Been around for a while. So I can finally put this stuff someplace because I finally showed it to you. I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know why I needed to have it other than to show you, and now I've done it, so I don't know. So that's my last thing for this Clean and Craft Chat. It was a long one, but I think there's a lot of good stuff that came out of it. This was in there too. I've shown this before, but I'll show it again. It's a poker chip. You can find these left, right, and center at St. Vinny's. You probably have some in your basement in your old games when the kids used to play checkers but don't anymore. I spray painted it. They were all red, white, and blue. I spray painted it brown. They took the spray paint beautifully. I just put a whole bunch in a box, sprayed them, flipped them over, sprayed them again because I wanted to use vintage stuff. It's got that cool spade on the back. And then I took a torn piece of paper, a piece of baker's twine from the Dollar Tree, glued the paper over the string. So this can hang, it can hang on a spine. You can attach it to a page somehow. I just tied baker's twine through that button and glued it on to the thing. And I think it came out just darling. I think it's a cutest little thing for next to nothing. And you can do any style, red, white, and blue, bright color, black and white. I mean, whatever your style is, you could use this idea for something like that. And that was stuck in there too. And then ATC, words to live by, will end on this. Trust in your dreams. They're right there in black and white. Trust in your dreams. Trust your heart. It knows where you want to go. And it wants to go love up your beastlies because they deserve it. That's why they're here. Magic at the lake. Out for now.